Some of you might remember Spatial. Spatial is a platform that allows you to create immersive experiences. And in the recent years, it evolved so much that it can be a virtual space. And guess what happened? Also, this is getting discontinued. But not everything, just the community part. In this video, I will do a flashback of what was Spatial since the beginning, first time I use it. Then I will talk a little bit about why all of this is happening. You know, there was Spatial, there was also Hyperscape, also AltspaceVR. So why all these platforms are disappearing? I will give my honest opinions about the 4 top reasons that can be possible for this to happen. And I'm curious also to understand your thoughts about it. So let's get started. I made my first video with Spatial in 2020 when I was trying with HoloLens 1 to place an image in the middle of my room. And it was a very cool technology then. Probably if you're watching this now, you don't think anything is special here, but back then, this was not possible. You could link it with the headset, whether a HoloLens or something else, and you can watch it from the browser. In this video, it was just a meeting room, I was an avatar, and I was moving through the space. I made a second video a few years later. So at the very beginning, it was only half of the body, and then they added the full body avatar. So it improved very quickly. And they also improved the avatars. You were able to have really some experiences in VR. So you were able to walk around, to change the view, but also there were some emoji, let's say. So you could add likes, hearts, and you can also dance at some point. So it was pretty cool. And if you know Hyperscape and if you've been part of the community, you would recognize many of these features, even in the Hyperscape. But this was back in 2020. What I'm showing now is 23, actually. So a few years later, but still, this was already existing. And it doesn't stop here. In fact, you were able to create your own environment. So you could create a completely new space, you could customize it, give it a name, and add a few personalized items. As you can see here, I'm in a meeting room and I can invite others as well. And we can have a meeting in VR or in the browser or even in augmented reality. For example, here I invited myself so I could see myself from behind. Since then, it improved a lot. Basically, you were able to create your own experiences. Let's say the words were far much better graphically and also more complex. Of course, it was still portable with multiple devices. You could have a huge variability of characters. And people were able to create very, very interesting experiences. And unfortunately, I'm kind of bittersweet today because I just read that they are removing the community feature. And this comes after we got the news about Hyperscape and AltspaceVR. So that's another platform that is gone now. I don't want to be too much negative here because I'm pretty sure others will come. But inevitably, the question is why. And we can only make assumption here. Nobody knows why exactly. We'll get there soon. But for now, let's look at the official communication. So this is the official communication. And as you can see here, we'll basically end the free and pro subscription tiers. But this affects only the creator platform users, not the enterprise customers. You will see here that they mention that the cost of hosting and scaling these multiplayer 3D worlds increased. And this is one of the reasons why they made that choice. I have to say, a good thing of Spatial compared to Meta is that they actually let you download everything you created. That's something I was expecting from Meta as well, because a lot of people scan many things. Some people also, like myself, travel to a location to scan it. So it would have been nice to have these assets downloadable, but yeah, it was not possible. It's still not possible. You will find this link in the description of this video so you can read the entire communication. And now back to the why. One of the reasons is for sure the current market. Current market is not promoting risk, let's say, and prices increase everywhere about almost anything. And these kind of communities require a huge amount of work and effort, and the cost increases as well. So if you want to provide an optimal service, you really have to increase prices. Otherwise, you are not able to afford it. A second assumption that I will say is the social aspect. We tend to see only the positive sides. For example, people gathering together, smart people sharing knowledge, but there are a lot of downsides here. For example, in the case of Meta, there was a huge deal in moderation, and not just the community, but the entire Meta horizon. So a lot of things were happening and it really needed moderation. Things got out of hand. And I won't say exactly what, because I don't want this video to be flagged for using some terms. But if you have been there, you know what I mean. So yeah, there were some issues. How can you avoid it as a company? You would say, okay, well, we limit the feature. And if these sum up with the increased cost and not enough revenue on that side, then of course you have to make tough choices. And the third point is the revenue. It is not a high return of investment. Unfortunately, Meta invested so much in an audience that is actually mainly kids by choice. Yeah, so that they could not fund much. I mean, yes, they were paying for clothes and games, but they don't have a job. So, and in general, if you target enterprises, it might work. But if you target individuals, you have less chances to work, unless you have so many individuals, like 1 million or something like that, with small contributions. I mean, you can make the calculation. You might support that model. But in general, the return of investment is low. And if this is treated as games, you cannot expect much. So these are my 3 assumptions. And this was kind of confirmed by today's message of Spatial as well. They also mentioned the increased cost. They didn't mention the ROI, but I know, also because of my job. I'm fully immersed in this kind of logics, so I can see why, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure that this is a transition period. AI is part of it as well. That can be a 4th assumption. AI is oversold nowadays, and a lot of investments are going there over XR. That's a reality as well. For example, now we have a lot of world generators. If you didn't see my last video about world labs, with AI now, with just a prompt, you can generate an entire 3D world. So I guess all of this is kind of contributing to change in a way, which is normal. Basically, companies always look to optimize their processes. And if AI can be a tool to make them more effective, they want to explore it. However, of course, they need to see the results, because AI is not always about saving time and being more productive. The real answer is it depends. And another aspect of AI is the hype. The investments will go in AI. At some point, this hype will settle. And I'm pretty sure we will go back to some core technologies. And as hardware and software develop for XR, this wave of interest in XR and investments will come back. So these are my thoughts, but I'm curious also to know, what are you thinking about it? So why do you think so many companies are abandoning these platforms, social platforms, at least the social feature? Let me know in the comments.